Today, we're looking at the perfect manager, max attributes for everything, and they're locked. We've done the perfect player, we've done plenty of things with players. We've always neglected staff because there's been some problems with some of the simulations, but not today. We've got the perfect manager. We've simulated through his career. Let's find out how he does. So the biggest problem I always had with a perfect manager, because I've tried this on FM23 loads, the biggest issue we had is when you make them at the start in the pre-game editor, they're just not loaded into the database. You have to get really high level of detail, and sometimes they're not there. And if they're unemployed, sometimes they never even find a job because teams just don't get them. So what we've done is we've chosen a Vanarama National League side, and Gateshead are the team. Why Gateshead? Because they don't have a manager at the start of the save file, or at least before any updates, they don't have a manager. So they had no manager. They were going to hire someone. So I decided that they were going to hire Vince Doyle. Yeah, he's an Irish manager with an English second nationality. He is, well, as you can see, phenomenal. Very good at everything. Perfect at everything. And he prefers to play a 4-3-3 or a 5-3-2 with defensive midfielder and wing backs. He's a gegenpress kind of guy with an attacking mentality. And he zonal marks. His contract expires in 2027, so it's a 4-year deal he's got here at Gateshead. Will he get poached before that, or will he get sacked? Well, let's start jumping through his career and find out. So, he's still in charge of Gateshead. And where did Gateshead finish? 6th. They finished 6th, and the media prediction is currently 11th. So he's overachieved with Gateshead. But that's it. There's not a lot more to say, is there? Manager of the Year, 3rd place for Vincey Doyle, and that's it. No Manager of the Month. So yeah, let's just go through another year. His 2nd year in charge of Gateshead. Can he get promoted to League 2? Well, he's still in charge of Gateshead. He's on £775 a week. He's got an extra year on his deal. He's been given a new contract. And why is that then? His career stats up here, 108 games, a 43% win percentage. I don't think that's promotion material, is it? Although they finished 4th. So they've improved on things. And this season, the media think they're going to finish 7th. So could it be 3rd time lucky for our man? No awards in the last 12 months. Just the Manager of the Year, 3rd place in 23-24. Yet despite the fact he finished 4th this season. Oh, let's go to 2026 then. He could be here for the long haul. Well, he's still here. He's still at Gateshead. And they're still in the Vanarama National League. They finished 3rd this time, improving season upon season. And we didn't look at the playoffs last year. I should have looked at the playoffs, shouldn't I? They lost to Crewe. And last year, they lost to Eastleigh. So they're getting closer to that elusive promotion. His reputation's phenomenal. He's got a better world reputation than current reputation. I don't know how that's all calculated. One loyalty as well, because I wanted him to skedaddle and move around a bit, which he has not done. 2 more years he's going to be here for if they see out his contract. No more milestones. Let's go to 2027. Surely someone's got to come in for him. Oh, he's been the manager of Orks A. He got sacked. Right. Lots to unpack here. Lots to unpack. We were last here on the 2nd. He wasn't wanted by Orks A. Why wasn't he shown as wanted? Maybe they didn't want him, but he applied? How does that work? I don't know how that works. Anyway, he moved to Orks A and he got sacked on the 13th of March. They finished 12th, and the season preview thinks they're going to finish 8th, so he did not do well in charge of Orks A, unfortunately. Vince Doyle is now a free agent with a 43% win ratio. An overview. Transfer value of 15.75 million. Is that his value? Do managers have values? Pep's value is 253 million. Oh, he sold John Stones to Al Ittihad. And he's left on a free. John Stones. Cheeky boy. Right, okay. I didn't realise managers had values. Interest 15.75 million. And he's unemployed, so 1 more year. Can he get a job? Ooh, he's the manager of Wolves. And he's been in charge of Wolves for 9 days. He got sacked as AJ Orks A manager, and he's been out of work for over a year. And Wolves have given him a chance. That's there's nothing. Oh, they're in the championship as well. I didn't even notice that. So they're in the championship, are Wolves. When did Wolves get relegated? Last season. So they sacked their boss and they've gone looking for their next manager, and it's only bloody Vince Doyle. Right, let's tell you what. Should we back our man? Let's go 2 years and see, can he have him back in the Premier League? Well, he is still in charge of Wolves. And if we look at the milestones, they finished 2nd in the Championship. So they got promoted this season. So he took the job. And in his first season, he got promoted at the end of his first season. 7 points off the pace of Southampton, but 7 points ahead of Sunderland. Sunderland missing out in the playoffs to Coventry. And then so Wolves are back in the big time. And he finished 10th. He's only going to finish 10th. AC McAteer has been signed for £25 million. I'm sorry, he doesn't look very good for 25 million. Look at this. To stay in the Premier League, he's only gone and spent 127 million. Noni Madueke signed from Chelsea. Mario Gillard also signed from Chelsea, who's only been there and played 4 games for them in the space of a couple of years. Not huge transfer fees across the board. Lots of 6, 7, 8 million pound sort of players. Squad options. Nico Mantle, he was signed to be between the sticks, I would have thought. And they've done very well, finishing in 10th. Well, wonder if any of the big clubs are going to come knocking, or is he going to keep going with Wolves? Plug away. Maybe get into Europe with them. Let's go another year. Right, he's moved. He's on 100k a week. He's moved to Rennes. On the 28th of the 6th, he left. So literally 3 days ago. So he did not get sacked as manager of Wolves. They finished 10th and then they finished 7th. He got Conference League football with them. He got them into Europe and he's gone to Rennes. I mean, Rennes finished 6th, so they're in the Europa League, but PSG have just got their stranglehold on the league. So, you know, look at that. Ruben Neves, former Wolves player. But yeah, he's been signed by Rennes. His transfer value is 243 million. He spent 47 million on Elliot Anderson for Wolves. Not a bad player, to be fair. He signed him from Rennes. What's this? It's just all coming full circle, isn't it? What is going on? What is going on? Well, he's in charge of Rennes. Will he be here for long? We're moving 2 years into the future. He's still... Oh, he's wanted by PSG. He's wanted by PSG. He's currently the manager of Rennes. And hang about. He's entered the Irish Hall of Fame in 2033, the 30th of April. He is the champion of Ligue 1 Uber Eats. The Irish Hall of Fame. How'd you click on that? Well, we'll try and find that at some point. He's become champion. 2 years he's been in charge of Rennes. So they will hear in 6th, Europa League football. He then finished 2nd, 13 points off the pace of PSG, to be fair. And PSG have, in fairness, had they got the same points total as that season, Rennes did beat him once as well. If they got the same points total, they would have won the league again. But they didn't. They did not. Rennes got 84 points and they've broken PSG's stranglehold on Ligue 1. You'd think, with that in mind, that someone is going to come in for old Vincent Doyle. His contract expires in 2 years. They'll want to keep him, of course. But he's come back to France after his torrid time with Orks A, who have still never... Cedric Douari is still in charge, who took over from Vince Doyle, as you can see here. He's been there for 6 years and 95 days and largely been very underwhelming. And of course, it goes without saying he's manager of the season for winning the league. Jurgen Klopp is the current, or was the current PSG manager. He's now gone to Inter. He left PSG. He didn't get sacked. He just left. Will he stay at Rennes? Let's go one more year, because he's wanted by PSG, as we've seen here. Wanted by Paris Saint-Germain. That's clearly because PSG haven't got a manager. You've still got Kylian Mbappe, who's 34 years young now. He's wanted, of course, by Saudi Arabia. Let's go to 2034. He's gone to Spurs. I don't get that. PSG wanted him. When did he go to Spurs? Let's have a look at his milestones. He departed, this season. He stayed with Rennes for another season. He won the Trophée des Champions, beating PSG on penalties. De Zerbi came and got the job, and then he left at the end of the season. Diego Simeone's gone and taken the Rennes job. Rennes finishing 3rd behind Monaco. PSG storming back and winning the league. So De Zerbi did the business for them, and he's been hired as the Tottenham manager on the 29th of May. So he's been there just over a month. Tottenham's manager previously was Leon McSweeney. He was the interim manager for 5 months. He sacked Carlos Corberán, who'd been there for 2 and nearly 3 years, to be fair, actually. And he'd won a Europa League and a European Charity Shield. Basically just the Europa League. But Spurs, so in terms of the season preview, they're expected to finish 9th, and they did finish 10th. That's a bit harsh that they sacked him, if I'm being perfectly honest. But he's moved. His contract expires in 3 years. So he's got a 3-year deal. He's still 100 grand a week. He's not moved in terms of his wages. The transfer value is 492 million. That's of players sold, isn't it? Players brought, transfer value, players sold. Oh, what an absolute tit. I'm going to leave all that in, and I'll be interested to see how many comments people make going, "You're an idiot." And I deserve it. That's staying in. subscribe to the channel while you're here for more idiocy like that. Let's go to 2035 then. His first season at Spurs is in the books and he's still there. Still at Spurs. How's he got on then? No career milestones, so they've won no trophies, but they were media predicted to finish 8th this season. I think it was it 9th last season, and he finished 10th. Then he got Europa League football, finishing in 7th. So he's in the Europa League with Spurs. Has he made any transfers? That's the question. He spent 123 million and brought in 120 million as well. A bit of an overhaul of the squad. Mikey Moore has left the building for 49 million pounds to go to Hull. Wilfried Gnonto sold for 37.5 million. How much did he pay Leeds for him? 48 million. Well, let me tell you, if he gets that good, I'd sell him on the Leeds file. Suat Akar, 70 million. Kind of feel that's a bit overpriced. Is it? Yeah. 153 potential. Is it his potential there at 152? So he's made some big signings indeed, and he's got them in the Europa League. He's now got a win percentage of 52% as well. Nothing happened as Tottenham manager though. No manager of the month, no nothing. He's now spent over £1 billion as well, and he's brought in 617 million, or he's worth 617 million. What an idiot. Ah, dearie me. Never going to live that down. Still could not put it up. Could still edit that out, but I won't. So, 2036 then. Can he do anything in Europe? Still at Tottenham. And the Irish Hall of Fame. He is top of the Irish Hall of Fame. All-time top goal scorer is Evan Ferguson at 31 years old. 69 goals and 127 caps for Ireland. He's currently playing for Liverpool. He has been at Real Madrid as old Evan Ferguson. 104 million, then moved to Liverpool for 148 million. Big money deal for Evan Ferguson. How'd you get to the Hall of Fame? Oh, look at this. Look, I'm in the Hall of Fame in England because that was the last FM. This wasn't this FM. That was the last FM where perfect team was Wolves, wasn't it? Ireland. We said he reached the top of the Irish Hall of Fame. He certainly has not. There he is. So the Irish Hall of Fame. He's top of the Irish Hall of Fame with 3 trophies. He's won the Europa League with Spurs anyway. That's the top and bottom of it. After extra time against Everton, Ernesto Torres with the winning goal. Steve Mayen. Yeah. Okay. Where did Tottenham finish in the league? After they finished 7th last season, they've gone and finished 5th, getting Champions League football. Of course, they were always getting Champions League football from winning the Europa League as well, but they've also qualified for the Champions League through the league. Very impressive stuff. Has he made some more big signings? No, he's brought in as much as he's sold. That's exactly the same thing. He's brought in as much as he's spent. Romario, 25 years young. Iltinho, not bad. Very good prices over here. Vintenberg, goalkeeper there. Pelagali, there we go. Not the best signings. Well, can he go on a step further? Well, he's still at Tottenham and he's got a pay rise of £55,000. They've extended his deal to 2040. And look at this. Career milestones. He's only gone and won the Europa League we saw. He then won this. Like, what is this? Like a Charity Shield sort of thing. He's already won it back here with Rennes, I believe. He's a 2-time winner of that. He won the UEFA Super Cup. Again, another sort of Charity Shield sort of thing. And then he's gone and won the Carabao Cup, winning the Carabao last season. We'll look at the final. We'll have a look at a tree. And I tell you what, from the 4th round onwards, so Wrexham, look at Wrexham beating West Ham and then Man City. Wrexham are in League One. They're managing to beat the likes of Man City, who've still got Pep in charge. Spurs beating Sunderland, Newcastle, Leeds on the way to the final where they beat Everton on penalties. Well, there you go. His contract has been extended to 2040. And how did Tottenham get on in the league? 7th. Europa League football. Didn't manage to get Champions League football again, which is disappointing. They got knocked out in the quarter-final to Arsenal. Losing to their North London neighbours. And yeah, disappointing if you're a Spurs fan. 2038 then. Well. He's gone back to France. Let's have a look at what's going on here. So he was the Carabao Cup winner, and we were last here at the start of the season, and then on the 15th of the 7th, probably about a week or two after we were last here, maybe 2.5 weeks, he left to join PSG because Roberto De Zerbi had left the manager's role to go to Bayern Munich. They needed a new manager because Luis Enrique had left because he'd gone to AC Milan. And they got Luis Enrique because Marcelinho was sacked. But here we go. PSG. Oh my God. Not only did Rennes win by a singular point in De Zerbi's last season in charge, in Doyle's first season in charge, Rennes have won by 7 points. Rennes have won by 7 points, losing just once all season. Fair play to them. 6 defeats for PSG, losing to Rennes twice. Flip those scorelines around and they've won the league, haven't they? So it's those games that have won it. I can't believe he's not won the league with PSG. What did he win? Did he win a trophy? Hired as the PSG manager. Olympique Marseille have won the bloody cup. Winning on penalties. Deary me. Oh, God. Again, he's very economical in the transfer market. He's managed to bring in 150 million whilst buying 176 million pounds worth of player. So let's just break this down. Yeremy Pino, at 35 years old, has been brought on a free from Manchester City. João Neves from Liverpool for £12.5 million. He's asking to leave. Once initially agreed playing time, not playing his old João Neves. Still a pretty good player. Mohamed Kone, he's a regen. They spent some good money on some of these players and they didn't win a singular trophy. They've still not won a Champions League throughout this entire experiment. We're in 2038. We're 15 years in. Surely Vince's legacy rests on him winning a Champions League with PSG, right? Let's go to 2039. Okay, so he's still the PSG manager. And as you can see here, you can't. I'm in the way. Well, spoiler, he's won the league with PSG by a singular point from Rennes. And this season, oh, he didn't. Yeah, he did. He won twice against Rennes, flipping that points difference. And instead of losing by 7 points, they've won by a singular point. And he's got another trophy to his name. Vince Doyle. He's got manager of the season somehow. Not won the Champions League. Not won the French Cup. Knocked out against Barcelona in the round of 16, who are managed by Vincenzo Italiano. Again, quite economical with his transfer window, bringing in as much as he's spending, give or take. Darius, he took a chance on Darius, didn't he? Oh, subscribe. So, he's won a league. He's not wanted by anyone. I think he's going to be here for the long haul. Should we go 2 more years into the future, 2041? And he's now the manager of Aston Villa. He's back in the Midlands. Milestones. Okay, he won the French Cup. He won the Trophy de Champions. So he won the French Cup finally. League One, Uber Eats. Rennes and then Monaco have won it. So he didn't win the league the second season. Won the French Cup. So he's done everything there is to do in France, essentially. He then said, you know what? I'm going to go and manage Aston Villa. And he's won the UEFA Super Cup because Aston Villa had won a Europa League. Europa League winners Aston Villa have hired Vince Doyle as their manager. I'm not sure why Aston Villa needed a new manager. Surely their manager must have left. Paulo Fonseca. Jurgen Klopp was sacked. Jurgen Klopp was the manager of Aston Villa and he was sacked after 6 years into Milan. He came at the 30th of May and he was sacked by the 29th of December 2039. Then 140 days later, for 140 days, Mike Dodds was the interim manager with a Europa League win to his name. Then Vince has come in 2040. So he's had a full season at Aston Villa. Newcastle have won 4 Premier Leagues in a row. Conference League football for Villa next season. Surely that means that they're going to potentially go and win that. They've got to go and win that. They've already won the Europa League, beating Juventus in the final. No one unusual winning the Champions League, but Newcastle are up there. A couple of defeats and a win to their name. Marco Rose in charge, doing very well. Look at this, Tijon Alois. How good's he? £86 million he paid. 192 current ability, 192 potential ability. What a player! Unbelievable. Yeah, he's done pretty well, hasn't he? Right, so he's the Villa manager. Anyway, let's go to 2042. Oh, he's at Villa still, and he's wanted by Real Madrid. The wanted symbol is back. And if we look at the milestones, this season, he did win the Europa Conference League. Fixtures and results. A 3-1 win against Sporting. Gonzalez with the hat-trick, loaned from Man City, joining permanently on the 1st of July. He got a hat-trick in the Europa Conference League final. He got 2 goals in the league. Not very good. What is his contract saying? A mandatory fee of £26.5 million. Is he worth that? Absolutely not. At 30 years old as well. Vince, what are you doing? You're an idiot. And he spent big, recouped sod all at Aston Villa. Look at that. £99 million. They've won it again. Newcastle have bloody won it again. Villa down here in 8th. They're getting Europa League football because they won the Conference League. Tottenham getting Champions League football because they've probably won the Europa League. Yep, they have won the Europa League. So you've got 6 teams in the Champions League and 3 in the Europa League. Newcastle are absolutely flying. Let's have a look. Potential ability. Sorry. Current ability. 192 for Shaquille Chajon-Alois. Amazing. We looked at him. Ben Bruce is 32 years old and he can play nearly everywhere. And he's 198 potential ability, 192 current ability. Yusuf Kaffour, 190. Michael Stuber, 183. Daniel Bashuk, 183. All German. The Germans just absolutely ripping it up as well. No, France, Italy and England have won World Cups. And France, Portugal and Belgium and England have won the Euros. So no, nothing for German in an international sort of capacity. But look at this here. Look, oh my God, potential ability of 200. Julian Aguzzi, and he's retiring at 33. Unbelievable. Signed for £34 million many moons ago. 13 years. Absolutely phenomenal. Still got the determination thing there from another experiment. So yeah, leave it there. No new Jan faces, as you can see, that would have been preloaded because Football Manager done that stupid thing where they put the R in front of things. I've not worked out how to do it yet. So I mean, you mid-journey faces aren't working properly. So yeah, that's great. You make things look nicer and more polished and you go and bugger it up. I'll work it out. Anyway, we're digressing. This video is going to go on long enough. Let's jump through another couple of years. 2044 then. Actually going to go to 2043 because he might be going to Real Madrid. Place your bets. Derby? What? Wanted by Real Madrid. He's now the manager of Derby. 220k a week. They're in the Premier League at least. At least they're in the Premier League. Milestones. Departed Aston Villa to go to Derby. And he's won the Europa League with Derby. Who put 50p in Derby? They finished third the other year. Have they had a tycoon takeover? Oh, here we go. Maurice Jenkins takes over tycoon. Again, but he's made a profit here on his transfer business. And he's finished 10th there, getting Champions League football, of course, because he's won the Europa League. Arsenal have won the Premier League as well, taking it away from Newcastle and their stranglehold. Look at that. 20 for every facility for Derby as well. In terms of their squad, not too bad. Not world beating, but pretty decent. I just can't believe he's gone to Derby over Real Madrid. Not that Real Madrid did come knocking, but he was wanted by them. Who did Real Madrid go for in the end then? Xabi Alonso, because Zidane retired from management. They've had two retirees, Ancelotti and Zidane. Fair play. He went for Xabi Alonso. Where was he before? Oh my God. So Real Madrid were interested in Vince Doyle from Aston Villa. Rennes as well. Xabi Alonso was at Rennes. So Xabi Alonso was at Derby. He'd finished third in the Premier League, I think, with them. He'd done really well with them. Real Madrid come a knocking, got him. So Vince Doyle went to Derby instead of Madrid. Bloody hell. Not really glamorous, is it? Right, let's go 2 years. Let's go to 2045 now. Now he's at Derby. Right, so he's moved from Derby. He's now currently the AC Milan manager. He left Derby in 2044, start of last season. He's been at AC Milan a year. AC Milan finished second behind rivals Inter by a singular point. AC actually beat Inter as well. So Inter's 3 games they lost were to AC and twice to Juve. Genoa and Cagliari getting Champions League football. 6 teams in the Italian League getting Champions League football. 9 teams in Europe. Back on the rise. But AC Milan got Vince Doyle in charge. And again, as you can see, he's economical with these transfers. He's bringing in as much as he's spending nearly every single season. Although it doesn't look like it there, having spent £2.17 billion on 132 players and sold 169 for 1.42 billion. That's £700 million difference. £750 million difference. £750 million. But he's never won the Champions League. He's never won the Champions League. He's taken a pay cut to go to Derby at £195,000 a week. Let's go and see how he gets on with his second season at Milan. AC Milan, they're top of the league. They've won it by 4 points ahead of Lazio. Inter, 13 points further back, losing lots of games. Napoli, Fiorentina and Cagliari beating AC Milan. Cagliari and Napoli both getting Champions League football as well. Fiorentina just missing out on it in Europa League football with Roma. Juve winning, I assume, the Europa League. Yeah, they've won the Europa League with Beto in charge. Vince Doyle has won Serie A and the Italian Cup as well. The Coppa Italia has come back to AC Milan. Come across from the blue side of Milan to the red side. He's manager of the year. Fair play, Vince. Let's go to 2047. Can he win something in Europe? Can he win the Champions League? Well, so what's happened here then? Departed as manager of AC Milan. Agreed terms with another club. And that other club was Bayern Munich. He won the German Super Cup. But unfortunately, he's not won the league because Borussia Dortmund have won the league with Bayern in third, 13 points off the pace. The season before, they were 3 points off the pace from Bayer Leverkusen. The managers of Bayern Munich, well, it was Craig Osborne who left the manager role. He's now the manager at Spurs. Started off at Torquay, went to West Brom, Sunderland, West Ham, Bayern, and now to Spurs. And he left Bayern Munich in the lurch, and they've not won the league, so I can't believe it. Vince, can you do something decent with him? Still in charge of Bayern. I thought I'd come back to the same year, but I actually haven't. He's been in charge of Bayern for 2 years now, and he's come third both times, losing the league both times. Very disappointing. 66 years young, still at Bayern, and they're 9th in the Bundesliga. Bayer Leverkusen have won it again. Oh, he finished 6th, not even getting Champions League football. Europa League football. How the hell is he still in a job? I mean, I don't get it. He's had no milestones ever since he joined Bayern Munich. Now, 3 years ago he joined them and he's done sod all. He's gone back to Rennes for a bumper payday. He departed as manager of Bayern Munich because he wasn't onto a winner at Bayern Munich. They were just doing rubbish. And he ran him into the ground. He's gone hired as Rennes manager. He's entered the France Hall of Fame. He's now again another Ligue 1 Uber Eats champion, and he's the manager of the season once more. PSG, another one of his old clubs, haven't won the league apart from once in 2046-47 in a long time. It's actually been Monaco's era of domination, and Rennes have actually been third and outside the top 4 until they finished second for 2 years in a row, and then they've just won it their most recent season, and we think we know why they won it. Because old Vinny is back. Well then, let's go to 2052. Should we go 2 more years at Rennes? He's getting on though. He's going to be gone sooner rather than later, you'd expect. He's now the manager of Newcastle. I don't even know where to start. Hang about. He's gone back to Germany and he went and managed Borussia Dortmund for a season. He went there for 1 year and he was the Bundesliga champions. They've won it 3 years in a row. Why did they get rid of their previous manager? Fabio Borini's in charge. Alexis Tebidi resigned to go and be the manager of France. Fine. Vince Doyle came in, 329 days. He left because he wanted to go and become the manager of Newcastle. Unfortunately, Newcastle, in the most recent season, finished second, 2 points behind Chelsea. Derby in third, another one of his old clubs. Tottenham in fourth, another one of his old clubs. He's managed 3 of the top 4 here. He gets about a bit, doesn't he? Old Vinny. Look at that. Wolves as well. Where are Wolves? They're in the Premier League. Aston Villa. Where are his other old clubs? Wolves have just come up, it seems. Aston Villa down in 15th with Calvin Phillips in charge. In his second spell there, he's flitted around between the UK and Germany, it seems. Old Calvin. Right. He's... So where is he now? He's in Newcastle. He's the manager of Newcastle. He's never won a Champions League, but they've won 5 of Newcastle. So now is a bloody good as time as any. He's not won any in a while of old Newcastle. Tottenham have won 3 of the last 4 Champions Leagues. Yeah, Newcastle have lost in the final 2 of the last 3. Derby in the final, they're losing to Spurs. Spurs winning 3 Champions Leagues. Rubbish when they were with Vince. Europa League. Was it Europa League? Was it in Conference League? Who knows? Let's go to 2053. 70 years young, and he's at Newcastle, and he's won their Carabao Cup once again. That's the second time in his career he's won that. Not won the Premier League with them, though, or a Champions League, sadly. Spurs have won the league by 13 points. Wow. Derby in 4th. Villa in 17th, narrowly avoiding relegation, but being relegated, another one of our old clubs, Wolves. Disappointing indeed for them. Goes to 2054 then. He's got to be coming to the end of his career now. 70 he is. Still going, the manager of Newcastle. He's still there. And he's won the Club World Championship and the Community Shield. Not the trophies we're after, to be honest. Spurs won the league again. We're down in 4th. Derby up in 2nd. It's all going on. 2055 then. Still in charge of Newcastle. But in the last season, he did absolutely sod all. No new career milestones for him. 4th in the league in 2055. That's 2 seasons in a row they've been 4th. Look at the top 4 there. Top 4 is exactly the same both seasons. Back exactly the same in terms of position, at least. Anyway, Man City got the same bloody wins, draws and loss record. Anyway, 2056 then. Surely we're coming to the end now. Still here on £250,000 a week. He's been here since 2051. And he's done it! He's won a Champions League trophy at the 33rd season of this experiment. Derby won it against Lazio the season before, having been runner-up a couple of times in the last few years. But Newcastle beating Spurs in the Champions League final after extra time with Alexandre Leon with the goal, his second of the game. 35 years old. What a player he is. 194 potential ability. I'm sure he got very, very close, if not all the way there. In the Premier League, then, how did they fare? Third. 7 points behind Derby, who was 6 points behind Tottenham. Tottenham winning the league for what is like, I don't know, the 6th time in 7 years. They've won like 9 in 11 years. Derby third 3 seasons in a row. How many more seasons has he got in him? He's gone! Vincent Doyle is gone. And look at this, another Newcastle player. Look, Adam McRobb, 194, 197 potential. Newcastle. Let's have a look at Newcastle. They've got no manager. Their manager, Vincent Doyle, has retired from management. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Here is his breakdown of trophies. He's manager of the year. 3rd place for Gateshead, and he finished 3rd in the Vanarama National League in 2026. He went to Wolves, got promoted, and was runner-up in the FA Cup in 2030. He went to Rennes, where he won Ligue 1, the Trophée des Champions, the Club World Championship. He was 3rd place. He then went to Spurs and won the Europa League and the Super Cup, Carabao Cup as well. Went to PSG, won the league, and other things in Spain, other things in France. He then went to Aston Villa and managed to win the UEFA Super Cup and the Europa Conference League. Left there to go to Derby County despite being wanted by Real Madrid, and he won the Europa League before he moved over to AC Milan, where he won Serie A, Champions League runners-up. He also won the Italian Cup, did all of the things he needed to do in Italy. Thought, I'll go and conquer Germany. And who do you go to when you want to conquer Germany? Bayern Munich. And he won the Super Cup. He went back to Rennes. And Rennes won the league once more under his tenure. And he decided, you know what? I'm going to go and have another stab at Germany. A 1-season shootout at Dortmund, where he won the German league. Didn't manage to get the German Cup, but he won the league before going back to England and dominating the Premier League with Newcastle, even though he didn't win the Premier League. So he didn't dominate anything. He won a Carabao Cup, runner-up in a Carabao Cup, Community Shield, and he won a Champions League. He rounded his career off with a Champions League, so he did do a hell of a lot. He never went anywhere internationally. He was disgraced by Orks A. They sacked him because he was crap. He's done well at pretty much every club he's been at, bar Bayern Munich, I'd say. Orks A and Bayern Munich were the outliers, but Vince Doyle has been a superb manager. Hope you've enjoyed yourself, gang. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Sorry, it's been a bit longer than usual, but, you know, it's one of those ones that I wanted to deep dive and get into things with him. So, yeah, here you go. Hope you've enjoyed. Like I say, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Any ideas for future experiments, leave them in the comments down below. If I missed anything in my travels, please do leave a comment. And most importantly, do take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.